Hello everyone and welcome to Trekking with the Castros. On our channel we kind of share our homeschooling journey, our day-to-day life, and we take you along for as many trips and adventures as we possibly can. So to get the ball rolling, today's video is a homeschool update. For us, it's the 2023 academic school year, and I think for most families it would be the 2022-2023 academic school calendar. It's different for us because we do year-round school, and so January was the start of our school year, which I know is a little different, but it works. So before I get started, I just want to put it out there that so far this year, Jesus' grace and mercy has been abundant and overflowing. This is the first year that I have a baby who's wreaking havoc, standing on the school table, chewing on colored pencils, ripping everything off the shelves, while having 2 toddlers and a 4th grader. So, Jesus' grace is enough, and he gets us through, and he is definitely given me grace and mercy so far, and it's only the beginning of the school year. So I am super thankful for that. But just as a reminder to everybody out there watching, that Jesus has us. It's okay. We're good. We'll make it, and he provides. So, okay. So we are finishing up what is our week 11 of the school year. So let's talk about how it's going so far. I think overall it's going well. There are a few things we have stopped using already. Well, really there's one in particular we've really just ditched. It just has not worked. So the first thing that has gone well is our new city catechism book. And every week we just go over a question, and it has another book that we use to kind of dig deeper and talk about things, and we just recite these questions over and over again. Like, for example, the first question is, what is our only hope in life and death? And so I say the question and the kids repeat the answer, which is that we are not our own but belong to God. And so we just recite that over and over again each day of the week. Actually, I'm lying. We don't do this every day. We do this almost every other day. And then some days we do the Books of the Bible song. Some days we throw in a picture study or a poetry. So it just depends. But we do this at least 3 times a week and have some other things that go with it. So let's see. What else is there? We have our science, the Apologia. That's been a hit. We are keeping up with that. Sometimes my daughter does more than what is on the daily schedule to do, and she completes 2 lessons instead of just 1 because she loves it so much. So that's been a rocking success in our house. History, we are doing Story of the World. We are on Volume 1, Ancient Times. Yes. And so that's been great. We love this, and the fact that I don't have to read it, and it's an audio CD, has worked out even better. I can't really say enough of that. I love that it's flexible and it allows you to go in as deep as you want to really dive in, or you can kind of skim through it if you're short on a week or you've already learned something about that and you kind of just need a refresher. So I love that it's flexible for so many different families. So probably going to keep with that one. Our oldest doing the Good and the Beautiful language arts. We are keeping that. That's been fabulous. Once again, this is our 3rd year using that. I am not using it currently for our pre-K because she is doing My Father's World. The Good and the Beautiful, maybe now that she's older we can try it, but it was too much for her, and she just wasn't grasping the letters and the way that it was being taught. And so she was frustrated and I was frustrated. So my father's world is a much slower approach. My only pullback that I'm having right now in my father's world is that there doesn't seem to be like any letter writing practices. It's like one teeny tiny small sheet on a Monday, and that's really it. So I kind of wish that there was a little bit more. There's tons of fabulous hands-on activities, like if you're working on letter F, there's like usually a weekly activity for whatever letter you're working on. They give you a few ideas for the child or you together to act it out. Like if she's going to be a frog, or a fox. So she gets to actively do that and pretend to be those things while learning the letter. She loves to do those, but I'm not really seeing that it's like connecting the dots to the letter and what it looks like and so forth. But we're going to keep up with it and see. I still think it's working well for her, but I think there might be a future update on what I do for her. Again, she's in pre-K, but she is doing Math UC, and she's loving that, and it's fabulous. So Math UC is a definite, probably going to use next year for her. So we'll see. One of the things that I mentioned was the picture study that we do once a week. I think that's on Thursdays. We're doing Michelangelo I think this is really during the Renaissance period, obviously because of our upcoming trip. We will be in Italy and we can see a majority of these sculptures. So that's why we're doing that, to tie in homeschool, because it seems foolish to waste an amazing learning opportunity in person with such a beautiful story and sculpture and artworks. It's just something that I couldn't pass up for my kids. Now, the one thing that we have ditched this school year is the Simply Charlotte Mason geography. Obviously, you can guess why I bought this and why I wove it into this school year. But it is not my favorite, and it is not my kids' favorite. Looks like I have some hair kind of going crazy back there. Okay. It's really a lot of map tracing activities, which get really old every day. Or she reads one of the books that came with it and she answers questions. At this point, I wasn't even having her write the answers down. She was just, we were doing like an open oral discussion I was reading the questions and she was kind of giving me the answers and we were kind of talking back and forth out loud. It has I think it's called like What Do You Eat book, and it talks about all the different countries and the foods that they eat, and it has recipes in there, which I think is great. It also picks a family in each country and they like take all of their belongings outside of their house and there's like a photograph of it, and they show you like the clothes that they wear and the furniture, and they show you like how much they spend on a weekly grocery budget, which I really think is like great. Like I completely understand why they have that in there. Like what better way to really like learn about the geography besides like going there, and if you can't go there, seeing how people live day to day is excellent. Like I completely get why they did it. But most of it is from like I think the early 90s, so while I connect with it, my kids do not. The prices, the grocery prices are completely outdated. The style of clothes and like the items that are in homes really aren't going to be what you see today. So if I'm teaching them from today, it would be better to have a little bit more of an updated family representation. But once again, it can still work. I'm not saying it can't. It's just the answering of the questions and the just the map tracing. I don't know. It's just not flowing with us. So we're not doing that. And she is using the Good and the Beautiful geography that is in her language arts curriculum, which ironically, they're also doing Europe, at least thus far into the program. They're doing Europe, which was completely unplanned. It just happens to work out beautiful. So, the other thing that has worked out good for us is the Sunlight 50 State, I guess, like project. We're doing it as a year project. So every week she has this book and she goes to her state and she answers questions that are printed out I put them in a 3-ring binder, and she answers the questions for that week. And at the end of the school year, we're going to kind of go back through it, and she's going to do like a big presentation on her state with all the information she's learned and present it to me and dad and all the siblings and possibly grandma and grandpa and whoever else we get, because we're trying to open up the door to oral presentations, which our homeschool co-op has an oral presentation night, but it had already been passed and we weren't far enough in the school year, so we missed that. But we do have that option, which is awesome. Another thing that has been working out great is our typing. We are on, The Good and the Beautiful has 3 typing books, and we are on the second one, I believe. And our oldest does it twice a week, 1 lesson a day. And it just really is teaching her the keyboard layout and where the grammar is and the numbers and like how you do tabbing and backspace and everything. So and each year obviously like it gets harder and it builds and grows. So it's been interesting to watch such a young child learn the computer, because when I was in school, I don't feel like learned that until we were much older. But I guess now everybody needs to know how to use a computer, so we're jumping on board. So also, if you are interested in how we do our school year, because we do year-round school year from January on is our start. If you're interested in how I schedule and plan things, how I do, how many weeks we go, and then when we have our break, do we do spring break? For how long do we do a summer break? How do we do birthdays? How do we do holidays? I am planning on making a video of that eventually, but if you would like to see that sooner than later, just let me know and I will try to make that happen. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope some of these updates were valuable and helpful for you. And if you or your child is using any of these things and you have shared or similar experiences, or you've had the opposite experience and have something great to say, I'd love to hear. So just let me know. And again, thank you all for watching. Bye.